Guys, I got a bunch of videos to put out. Be on the lookout. I had one, two, I got like 3 vlogs to pull up. Guys, one call I came from, the call I just came from, you guys will see that probably over the weekend. That was an in and out call. I think that one was a relief valve. But guys, I had one call from yesterday or 2 days ago. It was a pain in the ass customer. You're gonna know exactly, not to spill the beans, but you guys are gonna know exactly what went down on that call. But guys, I got like at least a good half an hour. It's been a while. This is my first GMC Talks of 2026. Guys, I got a bunch of random topics to go over, very interesting topics. Most of it is HVAC, but like I said, for the most part, guys, I like getting different perspectives. And like I said, guys, we're all in this to get better, one way or another. But one thing I was looking at the other day, and for you guys that's just getting in here, I am just going to give you guys a few minutes. I'm going to go over, I believe this is GMC Talks episode 32. And I'm going to talk about natural selection, guys. Natural selection, if you're not privy to it, natural selection in a nutshell, it means survival of the fittest. Now, you guys probably heard this a lot from seeing Animal Planet. Like I said, I'm a victim to it too. I like seeing, like, say, Animal Planet. I like learning about animals because, like, human beings, guys, us as human beings, I feel like, that's our primitive species, guys. Like, how we came up from, like I said, from the prehistoric times to now. Like I said, there's a lot we can learn from like other species on planet Earth. But one thing someone brought up the other day, this wasn't at the gym. I think I seen this on the podcast. The guy was like, yeah, like human beings are the only species on the planet that struggles with natural selection. And the other guy was like, what do you mean struggle with natural selection? He was like, I'll give you an example. Every animal on this planet, you can have monkeys, you can have snakes, insects. Every animal on the planet knows instinctively that it needs to adapt to its environment, and it needs to understand how the rules work, and it has to adapt and, like I said, make sure that it can survive through the next day. That's like I don't know if that's called animalistic instincts, but like natural selection plays a huge part with like animals, because for the most part, guys, like I said, I'll give you a prime example. Like I seen this online. Like with like birds, for instance, like pigeons, they eat mice. If mice know that, like I said, maybe they travel in packs, if they know that a bunch of pigeons are going to come out the ground between like 2 and 5 o'clock, eventually once a handful of their mice see that the rest of the mice are getting eaten, you know what they're going to do? They're going to naturally find a way around it and not go in that area. And like, guys, natural selection plays a huge part, like I said, with day-to-day survival in animal nature. But like what the guy was saying, and for you guys just getting in, I'm going over something I thought about the other day. We're talking about natural selection, guys. Like, and I found something very disturbing online, right? I asked ChatGPT about this, right? I just wanted to shoot this shit here, right? And you know what ChatGPT said? Like some scientists, I think they were like I don't know if they're psychologists. I don't know specifically what it was, but it said that so far this year, a group of scientists put together a study, and it basically prefaced it by saying, like, do you believe in natural selection? A lot of people don't believe in natural selection. Reason being, and guys, this is what I heavily disagree with this, but I'm going to explain, like I said, what I've seen. The scientists said that most people don't believe in natural selection because it conflicts with human values. I repeat, most people do not believe in like I said, natural selection because it conflicts, keyword conflicts, with human values. As soon as I seen that, guys, I'm thinking it's bullshit. Like, my take on natural selection may be different than someone else, guys. And like, I hate to tie this shit back into like politics, but like, I mean, like I said, I'm more so independent. Like I said, guys, like I know what the rat race feels like. I know what it's like living paycheck to paycheck and living with a bunch of uncertainty, guys. But like, once you learn from your mistakes, you hold yourself accountable, you get to the other side, now you can see like things can always be much worse. And like, it doesn't behoove me to complain all the time, but like, that's me. I can tell you from my certain set of circumstances, I came from, like I said, nothing. And like I said, like I didn't expect a handout, but like I said, guys, like not to turn this into another topic here, but natural selection for me means that, you know what, you have to adapt to your certain set of circumstances. Keyword, certain set of circumstances. If you're at the bottom, paycheck to paycheck, you have to get it how you live. Like, you're not you may be around negative people, but it is what it is. That's the only life you know. But and like this is where I'm gonna divert into this here. Natural selection starts with you adapting to your environment, but eventually, as you grow and as you evolve as humans, eventually you're not supposed to do the same shit you did 10 years ago. I don't care, like I said, where you at in the world. As a 33-year-old man, I don't think the same way I did when I was 23. And like that's not me trying to like put myself above anybody or anything else, but like natural selection means that you're supposed to grow and evolve. I don't know what that means for you. That's where the shit can get very subjective quick, because like a natural selection does have a state of objectivity, meaning you're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to get from A to B, but how long it takes someone to get from A to B, or what the goals are for someone to get to A to B, that's where it can get kind of subjective. Because like, for instance, like I said, a person down the street goal can be to make $200,000 a month. A person around the corner goal could be to start a family before 40 years old, guys. Like, who is the person that wants the money to tell the person that wants to have a family he or she doesn't deserve to start a family? Like, that's where it can get very subjective. But the point is, guys, like us as human beings, like this is where that podcast took a left, and like they got into like an argument over this shit. Like the point of like I said, just I feel like the human existence is to grow and evolve, and we can't grow and evolve unless someone pushes the boundary to figure out how like what else can we do out there, what else is out there, and this is where, like I said, and ChatGPT, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what, or Google, I don't know where they got that from, where people saying natural selection is bad because it conflicts with human values. Like, what human values? And like I said, people don't like change. Like, it is what it is. If you're comfortable where you at, then like I said, there won't be a need to improve. You can stay where you at until the end of time. Like that, if that's what you believe in, cool. But like, if you have a need to like grow or be something better than what you are now, like what values are going to hold you back? Like if anything, I feel like you're going to have more values as you go along. And that's why I'm an advocate for, like I said, taking a long path. Don't think anything quick. Don't think, like I said, tomorrow or next week. Think 5-10 years out. But once you commit to something long term, that's going to allow you to learn. And like I said, you're going to see a bunch of different things, not just from you, but from other people's perspectives. But like, I seen that shit online, and I'm like, yo, like, I think people are just complaining just to complain. And I'm like, and like I said, guys, like, I only have my unique experience of like how it felt when I was, like I said, at a disadvantage. I couldn't see past it. What's the old saying goes, guys? Like, you can't see the forest past the trees or something like that. Like, paycheck to paycheck, guys. Like, by you making it, having food on the table to eat another day, that's a victory. Like I said, like, otherwise, that's a totally different set of being fucked up. But like, I've been in that environment growing up. But like, once you get past a certain point, that's where accountability is very important. Like, if you wait for society to hold you accountable, guys, you're going to be in a negative situation. I don't know how bad that is. Like, it could be, depending on the circumstance. But like, why even subject yourself? Why subject your future to be held by someone else? Like, you got to stay in control of your thinking. I always advocate for you guys to, master the power of positive thinking, but stay in control of what the hell you're doing. Like, and that includes you holding yourself accountable. But like, natural selection, like I said, like, I looked into this, guys, and this shit got kind of like, I thought me personally, I thought it was bullshit. What I seen online, it basically said that, most human beings, they don't like natural selection because it forces people to become inferior. Like I said, guys, I don't know how true this is based on the articles, but it basically said that the people that don't like natural selection, they don't like to compare themselves. Like, people that's in shape or people that got a lot of money, they think they're automatically going to hold themselves against other people. And like, it became very subjective. And I'm like, bro, like, the point is, if you feel that way about someone else, you don't know what his or her goal was. If the dude down the street or a woman down the street, if their goal was to look a certain way or have a certain amount of money, that's their goal. So everything they do from now up until that goal, that's their purpose, that's their outcome. I feel like as human beings, if you don't have a purpose or outcome, then what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna be forced to look at somebody else level up and hate. Like, that's why, like, that hating shit, man, that shit really doesn't work, like, past a certain point. And like I feel like I'm starting to sound like a broken record with everything I'm saying here, but like, guys, natural selection is really it's up to you what you make of it. Like, I feel like if your values, like, everybody should have values based on how they grew up or based on where they're at now. But like, with that natural selection shit, like, if you have, like I said, a purpose, if you have a goal of where you want to be in life, and you spend the rest of your days chasing that goal, it's fulfillment in that. I don't give a damn what nobody says, like, because otherwise, like I said, I don't know what, once again, I'm not trying to make this religious or political, but like, regardless of what religion you in, you got to know that, like I said, everybody is allowed for a reason. You know, I don't know the actual number. I think like 2,000 people die every day or something like that. But like, if think about it, if we didn't have a purpose, like, I feel like the world it would still be primitive. We'll still be, like I said, amphibians. Like the thing, like, we wouldn't have 98% of what we have now. So like, as far as forward thinkers, I'm not saying, smart people or the ultra rich should be able to, like I said, like I said, I'm not out for like people having the ability to take advantage of people. I ain't saying that. And that's why, like I said, from the communism aspect, I can understand their standpoint. It does need to be buffers to prevent, like I said, Jeff Bezos from saying, you know what, I'm going to keep a certain race of people out of Amazon. Like if like I said, if Jeff Bezos was fucked up in the head, and like I said, based on the power control he got, if he kind of like came out with a mandate like that, he could actually start a World War III. But like, I know that's not going to happen, guys. But like, I mean, I understand the need for both ends of the spectrum of politics. But like, ultimately, guys, like, it's up to you based on what you believe in. It's up to you in regards of what goals you have, your values, and everything, and your purpose. Everything is going to come from what you want out of life. It's not going to come necessarily from what you see online or like you comparing yourself. But like, that's kind of like what the guy was saying on the podcast, like, before the shit went left. And I'm like, yo, like, natural selection is like motivation. Like, not only are you supposed to adapt to your environment, I'm not saying you guys should live in la la land and like not be honest with yourselves about where you at, but like, always strive to be something better and do things differently that's going to put you in a better predicament like down the line. I don't advocate for you guys to just accept your circumstance like y'all, like you living in jail, not in jail, or like, don't sit back and like assume that, you know what, damn, just because I lost today, it's going to be like this for 5 years. Nah, motherfucker, like, you got to use, like I said, use everything as fuel, like, you have to, like I said, make sense out of what you're seeing, but know that, like, none of this shit is permanent. Like, and like, that's why, like, and keep in mind, like I said, that was a blanket statement as far as what I read of people, why they don't like natural selection. Like, they didn't really give me specifics in regards to why people don't like natural selection, but it was all about, natural selection goes against human values, and it turns people against each other. I mean, what the fuck you think is happening in the animal kingdom? Like, like I said, and I hate to bring this up, but like, if everybody was lions out here, you think every lion hunts the same, and like, some lions go hungry because they can't kill? Like, that's survival is survival. Like, survival doesn't have a race or age or a weight or a money limit. Like, if you can't adapt to your environment, like, you're gonna be fucked. Like, I mean, like, and that's where, like I said, not to combine the sick and the elderly or the disabled. That's different. I'm saying like an able-bodied man or able-bodied woman. Like I said, if you can comprehend, like I said, like, come on, like, you got to stop comparing yourself to people that's on level 10,000. Like, start at level 1. Like, if you have, like I said, the ability to read, comprehend, and write, like, it's on you to make something out of yourself. Like, it's not that victim mentality shit, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, and that's where, me trying to be politically correct, that shit doesn't work. Cause like, I already see how life works on both ends. Like, I know sometimes when people lie, like, and like I said, guys, it is what it is. Some people lie to themselves to make themselves sound better or try to sell you shit. But like, I feel like it's bullshit, bro. Like, at the end of the day, like, I feel like there's a lot of people out here, like, not doing HVAC, just in general. There's a lot of people that could reach their full potential, but they will never reach their full potential because they're trying to mirror their whole existence off of what they see or what someone else told them they should do. Like, nah. But I think, like I said, to get to that level, it's going to take a certain amount of courage to step out and know that, you know what? The old saying is true. Either you're going to die a hero or you're going to live long enough to become a villain. Like, most people don't like criticism. Most people don't like everybody's trying to be buddy. Like, and that, like I said, I'm not saying to make enemies all the time. Like I said, it's certain people you're going to click with. Y'all, like I said, you should know what it is. But like, with everybody else, like, you shouldn't expect everybody to understand you. You shouldn't expect everybody to always be buddy and all. Like, nah, like, shit. And I feel like you're going to learn a lot more from people that has your opposing views versus people that always agree with you. Like, imagine, like I said, if you was a top dog and, like I said, you have 5 or 10 people in your camp and everybody's always agreeing with you. Eventually, it's going to get dull. Like, if you don't have someone that can oppose your thinking or someone that can bring a different perspective, then like, how are you guys growing? It's just going to be you and just a bunch of people saying yes to everything you do. Like, come on, But guys, let me look at the comments here. Carp, what's going on? Sorry. What if I don't want a life? What do you mean? E7U? What do you mean about that? Just because the consequences of something is bad doesn't make it true. Of course, natural selection is not bad, but the point, I mean, a blend. I mean, like I said, I'm all for natural selection, but like, my take on it is this: like based on what I seen online, dude, like blend. I'm answering your question here. Based on what I seen online, it basically said, and this is a 2026 study. I don't know how long they gathered this. There should have been a 2025 study, but like I seen this a couple days ago. They said that most people oppose, meaning they're against natural selection. Like, and like, here's the thing, like, this is where this shit can get very subjective, meaning natural selection is what you make it to be. But there is an objective level to overcoming your environment. Like, I don't care where you are, like I said, like I mentioned a few lives ago about, you know, if you grew up in a family full of, like I said, negative people, once you get past a certain age, you should know that, like, that shit really doesn't have a positive end goal to it. Like, who wants to wake up and say, yeah, by 35, I might be dead or in jail? So, like, and like I said, a lot of people, unless you're around positive people or people that can challenge perspectives, a lot of people don't realize, like, the point of human being is the point of human existence is to evolve. You're not supposed to think and do shit the same way as a 40-year-old man like you did in your 20s. I think I seen this in a magazine a couple years ago. Muhammad Ali said, if you see the world the same way as a 50-year-old man as you did in your 20s, you wasted 30 years of your life. And I really believe in that, because it's like, I'm not in, like, this is where the people online, the shit got misconstrued. I really feel like when someone mentions natural selection, they think, oh, I got to compare myself. Oh, if I don't have a million, nah, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, before you start comparing yourself, always think about where you came from 10 years ago, 5 years ago. We're not all 18. I'm talking like the people that's like 25, 30 years old. Understand where you came from, and like I said, know where you at now. If you're still here right now, still alive, like say you're not in jail, like say you got life in your body, you can breathe, you can walk around, like shit, that's better than someone that's living in a fucking wheelchair, not, you know, can't live on their own, can't do nothing on their own. Like, it's like I said, it's always gonna be something worse than where you are. But like, Blend, I know I'm babbling here, but like, it's always gonna be a situation worse than where you at. But like, the fucked up part about humanity is that a lot of people don't appreciate something until it's taken away from them. I don't care if it's their freedom, it's their money. How many people in jail right now wishing that, like I said, they never would have went joyriding with their boys, or they never, like, think about it, it's just that crazy. A lot of people don't really cherish, like I said, the small things until now your freedom get taken away, and now you fucked up. Like, we see it all the time, man. And it's just like, it really shouldn't be that way. And like, and that, like I said, I don't, like, whatever religion you guys study, like I said, I grew up Christian. I'm more so spiritual. I respect all religions, but it's just like, now, how you know, and like I said, I grew up, you know, there is a person above. Like I said, I believe in the Most High, but like, the human beings, us as, you know, I look at us as animals. We're only advanced species of what was already on this planet. Like, why the fuck are human beings the only species on this planet that opposes natural selection, knowing where we came from? Like, if we didn't have technology, or if someone wasn't forward thinking to make life easier, like, you think, like I said, everybody would be happy, like, but that's what makes it subjective. Maybe if someone's content with nothing, then like I said, you know, then have that. I can't tell you what happiness means to you, but like, if you have a goal, if you have a set mindset, like if you have a goal in mind, I don't care what it is, you know, physical, mental, spirit, like, it doesn't matter, God, financially, if you have a goal and you're achieving that goal, like you're on the way, like you're being disciplined, if you got a goal in mind and you're working towards it, that's better than 90% of people. Most people don't want to hold themselves accountable, so it's easier for them to say, you know what, instead of me having a goal to lose weight, or instead of me having a goal to get out of debt, fuck it, I might just go online, I might just complain. Oh yeah, I see the dude down the street. Now his shit probably rented, or now, you know what, dude, like, think, like, that shit, that sounds like a fucking backwards mindset. That's like some kid shit. That's something you do in high school or middle school. Like, it's just like, past a certain point, man, like, not holding yourself accountable. I don't know how that works. Like, and like, and for you guys that's married or you got kids, like, you don't want your problems to project. I'm talking like as a man, you don't want your problems to like bleed over into everybody around you. Like, and that's why it's important to hold yourself accountable early and often. Like I said, make sure you know where you stand, even if you have desires and goals of becoming better than where you are. If you start from a place of reality, you can never go wrong. And like, I repeat this, if you start from reality, meaning you know what's going on around you, it's not like you in the hood, it's not like you got nothing and you saying you got $1 million. No, the point is, everything is happening for a reason. You're probably where you are because you need to learn something in order for you to level up and get to the next level. I don't give a shit what nobody says about that. There's always going to be somebody complaining at the bottom. There's always going to be somebody complaining in the middle, and there's going to be somebody complaining at the top. But you as a person, if you can't make sense out of your out of your current environment, not your future environment, but if you can't make sense out of your current environment, then natural selection is going to turn it's going to turn into you hating on somebody. It's going to turn into you, like I said, if you're religious, you might ask God why I got to go through 5 or 7 days of, like, eventually, like I said, like, if you live long enough, I feel like you're going to get most of the answers that you ask. Either, like I said, either through you going through it or you seeing someone else going through it. But, like, the purpose of human beings is to grow and evolve. Like, but what that means is up to you based on your acquired values and based on your goals that you want. Satisfaction is temporary. The stuff that satisfied me at 23, I already lived that shit out. And, like, that's why, like I said, I can't even think about recreating the same stupid shit I did, like I said, growing up, because it's just like, that shit doesn't benefit me. Like, what's the point of it? Like, as a grown man, guys, like I said, I can go on for hours about this shit, but as a grown man, guys, like, once you realize you ain't got shit to prove, like I said, everything you got to prove is really for yourself. As far as with you bettering yourself, you looking in the mirror, you're holding yourself accountable, but, like, the stupid shit that I'm saying, like, we all did this. I was with them, like I said, doing the bullshit, in my early 20s, but, like, the later I got, I'm like, yo, like, I mean, what's the benefit behind what I'm doing? Like I said, like, everybody has money to spend, everybody can do stupid shit, but, like, where's it going to lead to, like, in 3 to 5 years? And, like, and I'm not against it. Like I said, I can't tell you what fun is to you. Once again, seek your own perspective, and like I said, once you have your goals, you can have that and do what you do. But, like, the shit I was doing, like I said, in my early 20s, I was a late bloomer. I told y'all, like I said, I was already in the trade, like I said, after 17, 18. So, like I said, I started off in the workforce. So, like I said, all my excitement and bullshit came basically Friday through Sunday. But, like, eventually got to a point where, like, I reached diminishing returns very quick. And for you guys that don't know, diminishing returns means the more you put into something, the less you're going to get back. And I'm like, yo, like, that shit is like, like, what the fuck am I getting from this? And I'm like, and like I said, guys, as a grown man, like, just to encapsulate all this, as a grown man, if you feel like you got something to prove to someone else, not in your immediate family, I'm talking like your kids, like, and that should be from your own set of circumstances. You should have nothing to prove to no one else. You should have everything to prove to yourself. But, like, if you kind of, like, still out here, like, having, like I said, not controlling your emotions, once something goes wrong, that's maybe something today didn't go as planned for you. Now you lashing out, like, guys, like, that shit doesn't really benefit you, man. Like, and that's why, like, emotional control as a man needs to be important, because, like, there's fucking, like I said, I know sometimes people get locked up that's innocent, all that shit, but, guys, but for the most part, most of the people that's in jail, they can't control their emotions. Maybe they can now since they got institutionalized, but, like, you have to control your emotions before shit hits the fan, man, because there's no plan B, man. Once you get in the system, guys, there's no way out, man. I've seen this shit so many times, like, it's just like, yo, like, what the fuck, like, and like I said, not everybody may have had the same set of experiences of seeing bad things happen, like I seen bad things happen, but, like, once again, guys, I don't care where you at right now, there's always something that you can learn on your current level, like, and like I said, not everybody's at the top. If everybody's at the top, then, like I said, minimum wage should be $1 million a year. So, like, if everybody, like I said, I don't care what negative or trauma or whatever set of bullshit that you're going through right now, like, always try your best to, like I said, understand it and just appreciate what you're going through, because, like I said, like, in the future, you're going to need what you're going through right now as fuel. You're going to have to extract something from what you're going through now that's going to help you out. And that's why, like I said, guys, like, long-term thinking of anything you can apply your goals to, like, it never fails, man. But a lot of people, but for some reason, they just stray from long-term thinking, and then, like I said, like, they make life harder than what it needs to be. Like I said, guys, I'm on my peace and happiness shit. Like I said, guys, most of what I do, man, this shit isn't really fucking work, man. And it's just like, I can only explain it the best way I know how. Like I said, I know I'm not the only person that's on this wave, man. But, like, it's too many reasons to argue and be negative over bullshit, and, like, most of the time you can't even control it. Like, why the fuck do I care about politics or, like, racism? Like, it's gonna be like that. It was like that when I was born. It's probably gonna be like that when I die. But it's just like, for the time I'm here, like I said, like, I don't care how a person looks, or, like I said, what their gender is, what the fuck is. As long as I got peace and happiness, guys, I can thrive. I'm good. Like I said, I'm keeping my blood pressure down. Like I said, I'm not, I got problems I deal with on a day-to-day basis. Like I said, like I said, guys, like, I don't complain about my problems because everything's already in my control. Like I said, I don't make matters worse than what it is by me comparing myself, or by me, like I said, just mentally, like that. That's why, emotional, like I said, stability, and like I said, staying in a positive mind. It helps. Like, I'm not saying that because of where I'm at, but that's all I had, leveling up to this level, 19 and 22. Like, I didn't have, like I said, a mentor or someone that I can, like, poke their brain. Yeah, what should I do here? No, I learned by trying a bunch of shit and it didn't work out. But, like, I don't regret anything because that was part of my journey of what I needed to do to get to where I needed to get to. Like, by me wanting to learn so much about HVAC, I learned so much, not even with HVAC, just other shit that I still can tap into today. Like, I know what discipline means, and like that discipline I had early on, like I said, going to school, cutting out the bullshit, focusing on HVAC. I use that shit still to this day. And that's how I was able to, like I said, I started the weight loss journey. And like I said, I don't feel like what I'm doing is like special, but like sometimes you need to hear things from like a different point of view from someone else for it to click in your head, but like I said, guys, but that natural selection shit, man, like it's necessary. Everybody's in it. I don't care if you agree with it or not, but if you don't perform, if you don't take care of business, like I said, if you're just waiting to blame people, like I said, I don't know how it's gonna work out for you. Like I said, you better hope that you're a son or a daughter of a rich family. Like I said, otherwise you're gonna get thrown into the woods. You're gonna get thrown into the wolves, man. But let me read these comments. Hold on. Let me look here. I appreciate y'all for the comments. I gotta start looking into these before I start blabbing here. Elite Climate, what's going on? Just because comments are bad, I make true. I seen that. Lorenzo, what's going on? Aaron, what's going on, man? What's up? I love you. Any more bullet? Hey, Saeed, what's going on? I got. I mentioned this on the before I started the live. I got like a couple of vlogs I got to edit. Like this week, kicked my fucking ass. Like I try to edit videos when I get back from the gym, but like I said, if I get back too late and I got an early start tomorrow, like you guys know how it go. Like if you guys, I don't know how long most of y'all been subscribed to the channel, but how I started the videos, initially I started posting at like 10 o'clock at night, but that's before I started going to the gym. So like I usually go to the gym 4 o'clock Monday through Thursday, and like I don't get back to like probably 7:38, and like it doesn't take me long to edit and put up videos. But like guys, you know how it is. Like I said, that's working. Like I said, working, going to the gym, and then like doing this shit. It's sometimes, like I said, I don't have as much time to post as I can. But like I said, Saeed, I got like at least one, the one I just came from. I'm gonna put that up tomorrow, and there's one I did yesterday. I got at least 2 more vlogs to put up. One of them was a buller call I went on, so you guys will definitely see that. And let me look through these comments here. Yep, bullers. Yep. Hey, Saeed, what's going on with you and these bullers, man? Yeah. And Saeed, I try to do GMC talks every Friday. I'm trying to get more into a routine, and like I said, most of these GMC talks is just about my personal HVAC experience. Like I said, things I've been through, and also can be random shit like what we're talking about right now. Like I think a couple of weeks ago it was communism versus capitalism. We talked about the 7 deadly sins, and today we're talking about what the fuck is we talking about, guys? I lost my train of thought. I know this is episode 32. We're talking about natural selection. That's what we're talking about. So like guys, like I said, like I see a bunch of crazy things, and I like I said, I try my best, and I want you guys to take this aspect from this video. Always try your best, guys, to learn from positive people and negative people. I feel like there's something that you can learn from everybody around you. I'm not saying you have to emulate them, you have to agree with them, but always try your best to learn from everything that's around you. And like life moves fast, guys. You're probably not gonna be in the situation you're in now by next year or 2 years from now. That's why I always advocate for you guys to be mindful of your surroundings. 48 laws of power. The last thing you want to do is build a fortress up around yourself. And now, like I said, and that's why I kind of didn't want to merge these two, but that's why, like I said, the 7 deadly sins, the worst one is pride. Because like if you got too much pride and ego to a point where you can't obtain new information without you kind of like taking it personal, that shit doesn't work. Eventually you're gonna plateau, and like I said, it's gonna go against you. But like that's why, like I said, the 48 laws of power, like don't build a fortress around yourself. Not saying you still have to put your growth and put, like I said, your future first, but make sure you can learn from everything around you, even if you don't agree with it, guys. Like there's still good information out there that you might not agree with. Like even what I seen online with natural selection, I didn't agree with what I seen online, but I try my best to understand their circumstance. Like, I'm not saying to get $1 million just to say that you're better than everyone else. I'm not saying get in shape just to say that you look better than someone else. Like, no, confidence comes from how you feel about yourself. I don't give a fuck about anyone else in regards to like comparison. Like, comparison is the thief of joy. Why would I? I don't have a poster. I don't have a picture of no one else I'm trying to be like. I'm trying to be better than what the fuck I was last year. And like, if I can be 1% better than what I was last year, guys, that's a win. And like, and once again, by me thinking long term, guys, them 1%, they add up, like staying in the calorie deficit, shit, get my steps in. Like, I got a lot more energy. Like I said, no body aches. Like, shit, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do, like that's the benefit behind, and that's why I always say, guys, like long term, there's a lot more values, there's a lot more rewards you're going to have. Cause it's just like, if you would have told me last year, man, I'll be, in the same situation, I'll be back in this parking lot a year later. I did GMC talks last year when I was a little bit heavier, but like, if you would have asked me, in 2025 that, in 2026, you'll be back doing GMC talks, like Dana almost 70 pounds lighter. Like, I would have told you, man, I got to see it to believe it. But like, now, guys, like my discipline is starting to take physical form, like I know how it is in my head, and I know how I'm already locked in mentally. And like I said, discipline, like I said, that shit can carry you. Like, if you can hold yourself to a certain routine long enough, discipline and consistency, shit, man, like you got, like, that's a new ball game right there. And like, that's what I'm excited for. Like I said, guys, I never had a reason growing up to be healthy. Like I said, I just, I took it like, it is what it is. Once I found a way to make money, I'm like, you know what, like I said, that limited, mindset I had, like, yeah, if you got money, then you good. Nah, like once again, that 20-year-old mind that I had, guys, like, I look back on that shit and I laugh at what I thought I knew when I was like 23 years old, guys. Like, I kind of thought that I knew how the world works. Like I said, as far as the values, as long as you like value putting your finances first, which is still kind of true. You don't want to be, like I say, you don't want to be a scrub. You don't want to be a bum. But like, if you kind of like, if you're on top of your finances, even if, you're not making the money you want to make, if you limit your expenses to a point where, like I said, you're giving yourself time to, like I said, somewhat save some money, save $100, $50 every week, whatever the case is. If you stay on top of your finances, that should give you time to work on other aspects of your life. I'm not working fucking 80 hours a week like I used to back in 2016. You get what I'm saying? Because that led to a lot of other things that I couldn't work on with myself as far as physically. You get what I'm saying? So I'm telling you guys, like, but guys, how long I've been on this? 32 minutes. Guys, I got to get up out of here. But be on the lookout when I'm going to do this. I got to put one up. I got 1, 2. Yeah, I'm going to put, it was a call I did yesterday. This customer was a pain in the ass. But I'm not going to get into detail with that. I'm going to put that up so you guys can figure out what I seen and what was going on. But I'm going to put that up. I think that one was a furnace call. I'm going to put that up today. And then I'm going to put up the buller call that I came from today. I'm going to put that up tomorrow. But guys, I'm going to, like I said, I'll try my best to do these GMC talks every Friday. You guys know the routine. I mean, like I said, if you guys go back to what I was talking about a year ago, I think I was still doing GMC talks while I was doing all them blower motors and condenser fan motors. But like I said, guys, we definitely came a long way. But for the most part, the goal is to be better than what the hell you was yesterday. And what that means for you guys, that's nobody else's business. It's not my job. It's not your next door neighbor job to tell you, what your goal should be or what it is that makes you happy. You have to figure that out for yourself. But make sure you're comfortable with being the villain. I don't give a damn if you're black, white, Asian, or Spanish. Like I said, if you can't stand to be hated by your own kind, then like I said, you're not going to succeed past a certain point because you're going to keep chasing validation. So like, once again, I ended by saying this, guys, like, if you're going to die a hero, either you're going to die a neighborhood hero at 5 years old, or you're going to, like, say, you're going to live long enough, you're going to realize human nature for what it is. Human nature is negative at its core. So like I said, a lot of people can't, and like, that's why that communism shit doesn't work past a certain point. A lot of people want success, but a lot of people, once they see what goes behind closed doors, when the camera is off, and once, like I said, the grind starts, a lot of people don't want to do that shit, and like, that's dumb. But like I said, once again, separate yourself from your environment and understand, you're responsible as a man. You're responsible for your life. It's no one's job to tell you, when enough is enough, or when you should start doing something. Take it on yourself. Take the onus upon yourself to, like I said, get your life straight. And like I said, gosh, we're not getting any younger, man. I want to make sure, like I said, my 40s, I want to make sure I'm fucking chilling, man. And like, that's why, I had to get my body right, make sure, like I said, I don't have any ailments, I don't have nothing hold me back. But like I said, guys, your goal is it should be to live a more prosperous and a more, like I said, in a more peaceful life. Like that chaos and that bullshit that we all seen growing up, like fuck that, guys. Like all that happened for a reason, for us to know that it exists. But like I said, I'm not putting that against no one else. I'm just, I'm just on my own. I'm on my own straight and narrow right now, guys. Like, it is what it is, what's going on out here. But I know I can protect myself from it by staying focused, staying active, making sure, like I said, I'm holding myself accountable, and like I know I'm not gonna lose like that, But let me look at these last couple comments before I get up out of here. Saeed, I'm a new apprentice. I love the boys. It's passion us up. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Reason talking about bulls. DJ, what's going on, man? Yo, so you guys, I'm getting ready to get up out of here. But be on the lookout. I'll see y'all next week for another GMC Talks. But be on the lookout soon. I'm going to put more vlogs out today and tomorrow. But keep rocking and rolling, guys. You can let me know in the comments what y'all think about natural selection. But just to sum this up, I think natural selection is great. It should inspire you to be better than what you was last year or yesterday. If not, then like I said, you can live out the rest of your days complaining, comparing yourself, and like I said, let me know how that works out in 10 years, my man. But all right, guys, I gotta roll. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.